Good afternoon. Am I audible? Thank you so much, Care Technology India, GTI, for this wonderful opportunity to connect with all of you here. 45 minutes, as you said, we try and keep it to the plus the audience interaction. Pleasure to meet all of you, esteemed panelists. I am very sure I'm quite excited to meet this well-balanced panelists. The panel that we have Mr. Durga. I was referring to my notes come prepared. So he comes with background in next generation manufacturing, expansion of manufacturing plants, EVs, P&L. All these are his forte. We have Milind Kulkarni. Milind's background is strongly into product design and engineering, development and program management. We have Santosh Kulkarni, gear cutting, manufacturing, operations excellence, continuous improvement process, and training. And we had technical fundamentals in gear manufacturing, CNC, technical sales, application engineering, CNC programming, tooling, fixers, and machine commissioning. That is the background with which we have got Mr. Kothari, Vishwajit Kothari. So thank you so much, and I would like to do proper justice to the discussion. Looking at your experience, if I go away from the discussion in your and request you to bring the discussion back on. All right, thank you. Okay, so let me start with one common question to all the panelists. We'll start with Vishwajit sir. We face a lot of critical workforce challenges. The fact. So the challenge is more about availability of the talent in the market, or is it training, or is it related to trainers? How do you see that challenge?
Good morning, everybody. So the challenges are of many types especially we face. Mostly, the challenges are related to the knowledge, information what we have with respect to the manufacturing of materials at the down shop floor level, the bid level, and even at the senior level. These challenges are not integrated, they are not well documented, I thought will inform at a time when really the details are declared. At times, it so happens that due to lack of the information knowledge, the process time is or the first phase time it takes vast amount of time and there's a wastage of time.
It's a combination of all. Yes. So,
good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, GTI, for giving us this opportunity. Looking to the talent in gear industry, I will cover most of the challenges which I am facing from particularly production and quality department. So, process is being set, quality standards are being put, but still we are not able to sustain the product quality. It is because of the mere skill of operator. See, 70% of the quality is being produced by machine. So 30% is the difference from operator. So the way you design a process, the way you set your quality standards will resolve your 70% of the problems. 30% remaining are from operator side. So to put right skilled person on machine, basically it's a challenge. Recently, to attract many talented people in gear industry is also becoming a challenge. If you see the production guy who is working on a machine is not being sustained for many years. So there is always a floating manpower on machine. And to train them frequently becomes a challenge for the gear industry. So what we decided in our industry, in our organization, to first divide the operator skills in three different patterns like highly skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled labor. And we have categorized all these operations in three categories. And then we come to a very minimal requirement of training in a very high skilled area. And accordingly, we divide it in production and quality. So we can do it, but every industry has to see what are their skill gaps, and accordingly they have to design.
Perfect. You are suggesting we should prioritize by phase three classifications.
Yes.
Right. Milind,
Yeah. Hello, audible? So, this swag, where we talk about gear as a subject, it is, I would say, design plus manufacturing. To take any other component, the process are leaks, people, I would say. But when it comes to gear as a subject, I'm talking about from automotive perspective, not the interesting part of it. So, I think as systems are evolving, we're moving from ICE to hybrid and EV. The major challenge I see is to have a systems approach because you can't have a gear design and isolation. It's all the system. I think Muthu explained very beautifully today. I think getting that talent available in the market is a challenge. So obviously, we have to do a homegrown approach of cultivating that talent. I also see that there are two elements like you have an MNC company which is working in India. There's a lot of data available, systems available globally. You can leverage, but it is an overall company that learning cycle might be very different. So I think having systems approach for the year design into making attacks gear that works for us so that it should work either it is ICE or EV or hybrid powertrain specifically for the I would say the AVH part because I think historically we have very clear calculations and tools that enables to do a basic design, micro design. We have challenged and I think in the micro design part.
Is it audible? Good morning, all. The challenge which we see as an industry is the workforce retention as well as the skill gaps which we see in the shop floor while the gear industries. The main issue is the training gaps and the training curriculum which industry follow is a standard curriculum which generally every company follows. There is no specific process-driven training which is given to the workforce, and there is a gap which creates a lot of issues related to system in the shop floor and lot of problem-solving techniques which people fail to address in the software. That is the main area which we feel that the gap need to be reduced, and this is the constraint which we need to fill out the gap. And retention is one of the area where definitely is a scope where we need to work, where people should see that this is the area where they feel that they can contribute, they can enjoy the working in an environment, manufacturing environment. So these two areas where we feel that the work need to be done, and definitely we can overcome these issues.
perfect. So as I understand, there is definitely a skill readiness gap, attrition, as you mentioned. So we have training infrastructure, then retention, of course, and the prioritizing the trainings, as you said, then operators' contribution 30%, as you rightly said. All this, we are going to explore these angles in our discussion. So it's the right start, with which we are begin the discussion. What I feel. So I ask you, Vishwajit, is it a skill shortage, a challenge, or skill transformation challenge?
Actually, it's a skill transformation challenge. See, the people who are working on the machines, they must be trained for some basic things in their technology, at least to the extent that what is required for them to produce gears in short amount of time, good accuracy, and good cycle time. First and foremost, they should be aware of gear fundamentals.
Right.
So, gear fundamentals is they should be educated in terms of all gear terminologies. Then that will help them to read the drawings. The stage drawing what comes to them, like it's operation number 66. The stage drawing should have, it has some gear terminology or some gear parameters explained on the drawing. So they should be able to understand. What I observe is that readers, they don't understand that. So they are not properly educated. Second thing is that the operators or the machines, people who work on the machines, they should be adequately trained to operate the machines. Sometimes it so happens there are operating machines, but they are of different makes and they have different operating tech and such. So they should be really aware of. It's just not going to help us just by transferring people from one kind of machine, right? So keeping all these views in perspective, the line supervisor or manager, shop, they should plan adequately and help. The third is what I feel. They have given the responsibility to check the dimensions of the gear, what they have manufactured the machines. So they should be adequately trained in handling the equipments that check the gears, like gear micrometer.
capital standard. Nobody would like to, open the car or, vehicle before 10 years for any transition failures, right? So reliability is taken care. I think my experience of both at OEM and at now Tier 1 is that in terms of reliability, our competency is, I use the word class. Because we are producing those gears, those are going to systems and they're performing extremely well. When I say reliability, it's basic gear manufacturing, gear designing, when it comes to material selection, heat treatment processes, everything, I think we have a good know-how. The major challenge I see is when it goes to the next level of performance, where we have to go for in-range optimization and efficiency improvements. Because now the powertrains are demanding more on deviation efficiency. That is where the microgeometry and that system level design, as I said, becomes very critical. So the traditional approach of tool-based design is fine. We can actually make a design well, but how it gets into the entire system. So as Muthu was talking in the morning, like, there are so many softwares available. You can do gear design separately. You can put that into FEA and then see the deflection. But unless until everything is combined and we see, at the system level approach, that is where I think we have to step up our game. But we're working on that.
So system level approach, when you said, simulation capability is also part of that.
Yeah.
Do we have any such software? Are such software used to its fullest potential today? Or
Yeah, there are softwares. In fact, we at American Hassel, now it's called Top Corporation. And we heavily use those softwares. Right? Now, the software is a tool. Right? You need to calibrate your software outputs with your data set. Right? I think that's where that refinement happens. And when we look at those final design, I would say definitions of say microgeometry, that is where the integration happens. Like, for example, if I don't incorporate the definition of the system in the gear design, it may happen that in real time, when the declarations come in, it may not perform the way it's supposed to work, right? So I think that's the I'm talking about system. So sometimes you have to work on 2-3 softwares, integrate that output, and then see the final design.
Right. Durga, in your transformation journey, while you are now looking at EV space, the latest technologies are adoption. What is the biggest capability shift that you have seen in your experience in your operations?
Actually, if you see, we were doing in class 8 and 9 gears, and it was applied to tractors and off-highway kind of vehicles, transmissions. And gradually we transferred to beam 6. And when coming to EV, and the requirement was beam 5. Consistently, see, design-wise, designing is not a challenge. We have a software, we have all requisite simulation softwares we can analyze. But coming to the manufacturing side, there is a challenge. When D5 consistently achieving Team 5 is a challenge in the shop floor. The challenges are mainly the machine capability is there, then understanding capability is there, corrections, problem solving capability is there. Now, capturing the data is also one of the key area where need to be taken care. Going forward, see, in a machining center or in a gear manufacturing center, lot of data comes in and that need to be captured in a proper way, which is not happening because we are expanding, but at the same time, data is not being captured properly and the analysis is missing. And that correlation, the missing data with the design is also missing. So going forward, we are definitely the shift which we are going to have is the real-time data capturing from the manufacturing setup is one of the key areas which the shift is going to happen, and definitely that will increase the area of understanding will improve. The time taken for data capturing will reduce. That will definitely help the skill upliftment also.
Data capture, when you say, is it related to AI or
Yes, real time data. Not exactly AI,
okay.
but real time data.
But there are things are progressing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to actually ask Milind, but this question I will skip. What we should do from the design capability point of view. It's very the EV powertrain. Most of the points are covered. So I would directly go to Vishwajit. All this what we discussed. In your experience, the shop floor capability. So there are certain things which are happening nicely. There are some gaps we are discussing here, and then there is this aspiration to meet that gap. Things are in the right direction. In your opinion, currently, where are we on the shop floor capability? Are we like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10? Where are we?
I would say it's a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay.
The problem is what, like say simple comments, I will explain one example. If we have cut one batch of gears right for 50%, we have produced right. I suppose we are here at 3 days. Say first day for safety, maybe hitting the right accuracies, getting approval from the customer, every producer 40, or some 50. Then we have those batch produced. Because the same batch comes after 3 months. We still take 3 days. So problem is we have not properly documented. Might like the gears might be having some orientation features, some unique features, some characteristics. It was realized, it was solved on the spot, then that batch was produced and given. But how it was solved, how it was recorded, to say, soldering aspects or fixturing aspect or machine aspects, it is not clearly shared with other people or something. But sharing is always not possible also with others. Reporting is possible. Had it been done, then the next batch which came after 3 months would have taken the same amount of time. Or rather, I would expect it should be happened in 2 days. Why 3 days? Because once you gather experience some 3 years back, next batch when it comes, it should be finished in 2 days.
Right.
That's what I expect. But it never happens in industries wherever I move out. It's again taken up as a new component given from manufacturing. So such gaps still exist, and the reason for that has to be found out, should be analyzed, and these reasons should be arrested.
Right.
To save the company's time.
Definitely. I mean, strategy or the aspiration and ground reality is definitely a gap. And that is why we are here and discussing today, right? Absolutely. We'll go over to you. Advanced gear metrology. Why is it becoming so critical now?
Yeah, I mean, see, One is the compliance part, but I think that is the basic thing, right? We need to comply to the specification that is put into the drawing. And when you're looking at metrology, you're looking at all these special aspects, of it, right? So unless I think we measure with the advanced precision measurements, right, we'll not be able to feed that into the correction mode. I think there are two aspects that can really transform the way we measure the parameters. Is one, we generate data, and that's the fuel for the AI. If you want to really augment and replace AI, we can have tremendous data. I think that piece of strategy is important when we look at having advanced precision, like automated one. We have those, but now can we go to the say laser-based inspection methods where it can be not only fast but it can be accurate, and that can generate more data and that can feed back the management process where, as you said, like we will have those corrections real time, not after the event has happened, right? So many times setup time, approvals all becomes portable. How do we strengthen the inspection ecosystem so that at right time, right there when the process is happening, set up pieces, you get the information, you correct the process, and you can improve the efficiency of the entire.
Perfect, perfect. In the interest of time, I will skip a couple of places. Go to Durga and Vishwajit. We'll keep it brief. We'll take 5 to 10 minutes before we open the session for the audience. So there are institutes, training institutes, IITMA, but people say that leadership doesn't have the mindset to send people for training into the institutes. What are your challenges? Why are we not sending people for training in these institutes?
I think this is there is a challenge, definitely. If you see nowadays, like understanding the workflow inside the factory and the system in which the manufacturing processes runs. Internal trainers need to be generated. So internal trainers definitely will reduce the requirement of external trainers. That will definitely help because sending people out requires a lot of time, and this training can be done inside the factory, beer manufacturing factory, when you have all the facilities in-house. So only specific trainings related to the design, related to other upcoming features, technology. Definitely, institutes are there. We are sending people out for the training purpose. But as such, here, basic knowledge is required. That can be done
In-house. So you're saying there is a need for training, but we should try and prioritize in-house trainings only for that delta, which is not possible in-house. We should utilize the training institute. Very right and balanced view.
So, as many of you just emphasized, that hands-on experience is required for machine industry or care industry. And as we have seen right now, many industries are moving towards AI. So, keeping that in mind, my question to Ishit itself that if you have seen any AI-powered machinery or technologies in their maintenance, because as I see that maintenance is also one of the major part of your industry. And if they have been integrated, what kind of interest they have encountered for you? See, AI-powered gear cutting machines are coming up. I think the last one of the exhibitions I saw that the engineering drawing is sent to the machine. The machine has another screen. The engineering drawing is sent from the manufacturing engine divided directly from the example. There are many other aspects. There are many aspects where of many subjects or topics related to machines they are AI-powered. It will come in the future, but my point is that, okay, all these things are there. Knowing these things and how they are implemented on the machines, will that be sufficient to for the training of the machine or for the operating of the machine, for understanding machines? If you're asking me, go. They are just the tools. They are additional tools. They are only will help you to make faster progress in terms of saving time, saving money, data installations, communications, everything will come to those knowledge sharing. All this will happen. But to understand machine or to understand the gear, how it manufactures, what is the generation process, how does it really happen, you need to visit gear machines on the shop floor. If you get an opportunity, please operate it. Don't shy away. Don't hesitate. That's my suggestion. Because that feel, what you must have, you did there only. Perhaps that kind of feel may not be required in other machining operations like filling, tapping, boring. Okay, but definitely to understand the generating process, you need to have a first-hand experience of machines. That I was saying. These are the tools. Yeah, are the tools. They will only assist you in boosting the productivity of the organization.
Thank you for your insights, sir. I'll definitely work on that.
We will take two more quick questions so that we can summarize the battery then. So yes, sir.
Afternoon, everyone. So we can championship for Coplaced. We are an accelerating automation company, and it has been great to know the analysts, because some of them I have visited, like RSV transmissions and Sanjeev. We see a lot of activity on manufacturing intelligence, which Mr. Mars was talking about. And also at Sanjeev, we see a lot of engineering going around to accommodate different parts and challenges. And I believe, sir, that when you look at upscaling, do you look at also, other than the automation exercises, continuous learning exercises that you are really looking at? Do you think intensifying the production people and your operators, when you are producing more quality right first time, are you incentivizing them? I would like to know, does it also help as a motivation? Thank you very much. Is my question clear?
So you want to understand whether you are giving any benefits to operator for his good production.
Right, sir.
Okay. See, the robotic cells which our operators are generally operating are mostly coming from our role operators. So they are working since around 15, 18 years on that machine or that cell. So the way the contractual their agreements are coming, so their discussions are going on, and usual practice is that we give whatever benefits are actually required as per the industry standards to them. And sometimes in our town hall meeting or in the monthly meetings, if someone has produced something more or has established some good quality, then we felicitate him in the monthly town hall meeting to boost it more.
In the industry, there is a structured way of motivating people. Right. Soft floor, definitely a lot of improvements are being done. It is the manpower who works there that does those improvements. And we have a structured way of analyzing the improvements which they are doing. So, for example, in soft floor, we are calling it TPM culture. So in TPM culture, it specifically focuses on OE of the machine. So there is a structured way in which the gap is analyzed in the availability or in the running time productivity processes. So in that, if some improvement is done in the fixture side or in cycle times or in the processes quality improvement, POCA is there. So in that, definitely there is a way in which we motivate. We have weekly analysis, weekly meetings, monthly meetings, and monthly Kaizen ceremony, we call it, and where we motivate our workforce. Thank you.
So one last question quickly and we can conclude.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, thank you to moderator, sir, for asking the nice question. And because of that, I think it was interesting. My question is that I'm Sanjeev into the technical training, especially the product, process, and system. My question to the everyone, maybe especially Milind, says that how this model will be workable when there is a question and answer. In spite of only training, one-sided training, there has to be question and answer, not it has to be there throughout the training session in the industry. How it will be workable? Thank you.
It's good point, Ajit. So thanks for very good question. So I think, see, nowadays when we look at trading, right? Trading, I think we discussed that. It's not about knowledge. It's also the skill. So the trading has to be embedded with a skill-based approach, which means if it is design, you can't make a design without seeking management. So actually, all the shop floor. So for example, in our company, we ensure that our designers visitor factory, split the couple of days, understand the process. Because they can make your design quick. Right? Similarly, we I appreciate people taking application based training. So that is important. Another element is that when you look at next 10, 15 years, now we know that the learning pattern is different. We are talking about now training the Gen Zs. So the young generation, they want to have more digital way of learning it. So that is also very interesting. That gives two benefits. One, it matches with their thought process. Second, you can do it at your own pace. So just to summarize my thought, one, you have skill-based training, on-the-job training, where it is blended with theory and practice. And then you have modules where it is more digital. So if somebody who wants to learn more, they can do it at their own pace.
Great. So with that, we conclude this panel. A huge round of applause for panel members of the kid. Requesting Aniba to please join me. Anita Raghunath, she is the Director of Global Communications and Exhibitions, while we present mementos to our panel. Requesting our moderator who has led this discussion so well, Mr. N.C. Gosavi. Thank you so much. Mr. Vishwajit Kothari, thank you, sir. Mr. Santosh Kulkarni, thank you so much. Mr. Milind Kulkarni, thank you for joining us today. I'll keep the applause going as we also present our memento to Mr. Durga. Thank you so much, sir.